What's up, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Console Corner. I'd like to take a minute and thank everyone who comes out and joins us every week. We really appreciate it. We get so many comments every week about how much you all love the show and what we're doing, and we want to thank you so much for that. This week we'll be talking about Forza, maybe a new Dying Light game in the works, Rockstar kicking some game ideas around, and much more. Alright, let me go ahead and introduce our panel of gamers this week, starting off with my buddy and great YouTuber, Mr. Windy City Gaming.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Glad to be back on the show and ready to talk some games, guys.
Awesome. Next we have someone who is pretty much a regular on this show at this point, and also a great YouTuber, Miss Foxfire.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for inviting me, as always.
Awesome. And now for our newest member of the Console Corner, Mr. Bearclaw Gaming.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here.
Next gamer on our panel is Mr. Negative himself, Zazz.
Yeah.
And back from the dead, he is back on the Console Corner, Mr. AsthMattic.
It's being sick has its pros and cons. Bad news is I don't get to go to school today. The good news is I'm home to be on Console Corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Next we have podcast PR extraordinaire, Miss SheWolf.
Hey everybody, let's talk some games.
And I'm your host, GKB. Alright. Let's see. As we always do, I want to go around the panel and see what everybody's been playing this week. Let's go ahead and start with our guest, Mr. Windy.
Right now, still currently playing UFC. I'm addicted. I have a problem with that game. But I have been playing a lot of COD, the Black Ops backwards compat. It feels good to just have that old school feel, and I just can't wait for COD 4, man.
That's awesome. What about you, AsthMattic? What you been playing, bro?
I've been getting a little bit more into Halo 5, trying to go back and unlock a lot of the stuff that I never picked up in the beginning, and maybe be playing a little Overwatch later this week. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm probably gonna do that later today. So probably be on there.
Nice, awesome. I hear Overwatch is pretty good.
I enjoyed the beta, so yeah, I'm gonna be getting on it.
Sweet. What about you, Fox? What you been up to?
Well, can I just wondering, can I say my list of games?
Yeah, just go for it.
No, I was playing the same thing as last week, kinda. Like a little bit of Rise, Forza, Battlefield 4, Halo today with Xbot, and some Black Ops, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I also tried that Tron game, that Tron Run.
Oh,
I tried the trial. Yeah, the trial. I did that. That was actually pretty fun. I might pick that up when it goes down in price a little bit.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool. All right, SheWolf, what you been playing?
Doom. Been playing lots of Doom. What else? There was something else I was playing. Now I can't even think of what it was. Oh, I've played little cheesy games like Peggle, just for mindless fun. Halo. So, yeah, not a whole lot this week.
Alright, cool. What about you, Zazz? What you been up to, bro?
Homefront or Missed Opportunities, the video game, and Overwatch like a mother right now. Crazy amounts of Overwatch. Overwatch while we're doing this, actually, so you know.
I'm gonna stab you so hard.
I know.
What about you, Bear?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege now they have the new operator out, and then, like Zaz, a lot of Overwatch today and last night.
That's awesome. Me, let's see. I've been playing Doom, Brother, Tale of Two Sons. I've been trying to finish Never Alone, and I'm back into Dark Souls trying to finish that up too. So that's what I've been jamming out to. All right, cool.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yeah, sure, bro.
I actually forgot to mention that I played with my daughter the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and finally they got it right.
That's good,
After
man.
there's several entries the last 3-4 years with I think there's 3 released in that time frame, and all of them were really bad, in my opinion. So this one's great, man. Anyone interested in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you guys will love it. A lot of upgrades, different moves. It's really fun.
I heard that game was really well done, and GKB's been considering actually picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's just your typical hack and slash, but it's just the upgrades and the way they did the mission structures are kind of short, but I mean it works, especially for how they did it because the worlds are somewhat not open world, but you could say they are because you can go on top of buildings. It's just check it out, man. Anyone interested in some type of superhero type fighting game, it's really good.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Sweet deal.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into our first topics today. So first up, let's talk about EA greenlighting the sequel to Unravel. Did everyone enjoy the first one? Did you get to play it? And does it really warrant a second one? Let's go ahead and start with Fox.
I actually really liked the first one. I haven't finished it, but so far from what I see, I like it a lot. It's adorable, and I don't mind them having a second one. I would probably pick that up too.
Awesome. What about you, SheWolf?
I 100%ed this game using Macca's guides, so go check him out because he actually has a lot of really good guides. But yeah, I did 100%. I really enjoyed the game. Didn't fully get the story though, but that could just be me.
Yeah, I mean, for me too. I think it was a great game. A little on the short side. I think it was beautiful. The graphics were fantastic. It had a decent story. I thought the last mission was completely and utter terrible. But all in all, I think
Really?
it was
Why?
It was just it felt like out of place. Like I didn't.
Oh no, yeah, without spoiling it, I could see what you mean.
Yeah, I don't want to in case anybody hasn't played it or whatever, but yeah, it just felt like really out of place. Didn't feel like the rest of the game. So I didn't like it.
Would you like getting another one, like checking it out?
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind another one. It was good enough to where I thought it was, could warrant another one for sure.
I'm kind of interested though how, like, for anyone who has beat it, I'm kind of interested how they will do a second one because of what Yarny was supposed to be. So.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask about. It's that Yarny guy's got some, or the little stuff dude.
He's got
something to do with story. Yeah, but it's like, isn't the maker of the game, from what I read, it's like, the guy was real emotional, and it means something to him growing up. So the game is basically telling a story of like his childhood growing up.
Well,
I don't know if that goes with the story or not.
EA hears what you're saying, and they say, "Shut up. We want the money." We're not looking for a logical reason. We're making a sequel. Shut up.
People will buy it. So
Yeah, a lot of people like that character. Like Yarny is really popular, even if not everybody has finished the game like me. But he's adorable and whatnot.
I made a Yarny.
Yeah, that's right. That's awesome.
What about you, Zazz? Did you play it?
I played the first demo, the EA Access one, and I was like, you know what? That yarn is just too sad. I don't want to play this.
Wow. There was definitely
feels for him.
Well, yeah, there was definitely, some parts that were really aggravating, because I'm horrible at jumping puzzles, and there was some spots, I had to actually complete several times to get it done, but... Plus, there was also a glitch. GKB had a problem with one of the...
achievements,
Yeah. Where it didn't unlock, so you don't have 100%.
Yeah, that's one of the things about this game is like, it's a puzzle platformer, so it's not going to be for everyone if you're not into that kind of stuff. So, yeah. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Next topic I wanted to talk about and get into is Terra MMO possibly coming to consoles. Terra had that like action-based combat style, and at first I think it wasn't free to play, and then it moved into like that free to play market. Is anyone interested in playing this on the consoles? What do you guys think of like MMOs coming to consoles?
I'm excited. I think this is like a step to bring, say, like the actual name brands like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2 and stuff like that, to try to bring them over to the consoles, because you see a lot of that now, like PC games and console games kind of interchanging with each other, and and I think that's a good idea. I don't know if console gamers are really the type to sit and play on one standard game for, like PC players do. I don't know if that part will be successful. I know we have Neverwinter, which is a great game, all on its own. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Terra and when it actually comes out. Because I enjoyed it. I actually liked the game when it first came out.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of like developers that create these MMOs are kind of looking into the console market, even like ones that are kind of like PC based, but they still have like that controller. You know, you can like change everything to the controller. I think it's kind of cool for the console market. Like, this is probably a genre they don't really get into that much or get to see that much if they just play primarily on consoles. And you know, when Mike Ybarra and his team were talking about like the 64-player party chat, this is always what I had in mind or envisioned when he was saying that, is like, you know, big raid parties and stuff for like MMOs. So I think it's cool. I think it gives the consoles more variety of games to play. So
also brings the community together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like SheWolf said, it's just gonna open the door.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like I don't play MMOs at all, but I think that Terra can be the first game that can kind of show developers. I mean, and we do have Neverwinter as well, but you know, mainstream big games might start taking note of Xbox and PlayStation if these games can make traction on console like they could on PC.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think it's great because it's giving players more options, so they can choose to, you know, get into that game type. Mm-hmm. Maybe they never thought about it before, and then they can get into that and have something else to play. And I've been seeing them doing that a lot. Didn't they? DC Universe one was MMO, right?
Yeah, that just came over.
And also I heard that Star Trek Online is gonna come over as well, and that's like an MMO. So yeah, I see them doing this. This is a big trend that's happening right now.
Yeah, it's definitely getting some traction.
You know, which
also
mouse
and keyboard coming.
Yeah.
That's a good point too.
I also, you know, throw this point in there too, with the AAA titles having so much time in between, bringing over MMOs will actually give players that longevity that, you know, a lot of games don't have. So when you are sitting there waiting for a game to come out, you can just go back and work on your character and kind of like feed into that while you're waiting for these big AAAs.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, and Wendy had like a good point about like, you know, keyboard and mouse, which, you know, lends itself well to MMOs. What about you, Zazz?
You know, I'm never against a game coming onto consoles, but yeah, it's really just reiterating, like, this is more of a stepping stone to get the only thing I've ever wanted, and that's World of Warcraft. So, you know, happy for it.
What do you think, man? You think WoW's going to come?
I think it will. If the last patch was anything to say, like, they've simplified the UI so much now to have it where your hotbar only needs like 8 moves in it to really work.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and it's like so streamlined now. It started like the moment I got on the newest one, it was so indicative of DCU. I was like, this is controller optimized, like, immediately.
Now for Terra, though, where are we at with version history? Like, are we the same version that they are at on PC right now that's going to be coming to consoles, or are we like a Minecraft story where we're a little bit behind?
Well, I think they've basically confirmed that they're looking into having it come to console, but I think and correct me if I'm wrong, they've basically said, but we're still looking for the right people to help make it happen. Is that basically?
Yeah, they're trying to find a developer that can port it over properly.
Right, and make it work with everything. But I think that's good though. Like, I mean, if they're looking into that, they definitely see, like, you know, the console market as a viable option, you know.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, some of these games are like pretty old, right? Didn't Terra come out in 2011 or something like that?
Yeah, it's very old.
It's definitely an older game.
Yeah, like all these MMOs that are crossing over, they're old already. But I mean, it'll be nice for us to get the latest version. Yeah, that the PC has.
Well, that's why I think that, you know, they're starting with Terra, because of the fact that it is a smaller base MMO. It's not actually as popular as the bigger name ones. And like I said before, we do have like Neverwinter. We do have a few that are actually like MMOs on the console already, which are doing somewhat successful. So bringing over an actual full PC one is definitely a small step to the much bigger ones like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's why I bring up the whole keyboard and mouse thing, because in all honesty, what game can you use it on? Besides, you know, Halo Wars that'll be coming out, what else is there?
I think we'll hear more at E3.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm assuming as time goes, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of PC style games on console, and I think it'll be a success. Like they're slowly but surely losing on their side, and they can gain that difference on the console side.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, awesome, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. We got a ton to talk about tonight, so. All right, so into our next topic. Take-Two Interactive Financial Report confirmed Rockstar Games is working on some new projects. Also, there's a new report stating that these games will not release this fiscal year. I want to know what everyone thinks they're possibly working on. Let's go ahead and start with AsthMattic on this one.
I mean, I think if it's not Red Dead Redemption, then they've got a serious problem with listening to their fans.
Yeah.
So, 'cause, I mean, GTA 6 is like the obvious choice to go to. Like, yeah, that's what it's going to be. But right now, because GTA 5 is still doing so well, I mean, I want to see another Red Dead Redemption because I'm also a fan of westerns myself, and I want to see that franchise on current gen consoles.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you. Like, I think a Red Dead's coming for sure. But they also lead it to, like, possibly like a new open world game, like RPG-esque. So I'm kind of excited to see that stepping out of their, comfort zone there. What's everybody else think?
Yeah, I think that chances are there have been a lot of leaks about it being Red Dead. I think that it's probably pretty comfortable and easy to say that it will be that game.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought that we would be getting it this year, but I guess I'm fine with waiting until next year. Traditionally, if you look at, I mean, I guess GTA did get bumped back until September, but for example, the first Red Dead totally came out in, like, I think May. LA Noire before that came out in May. So I think Rockstar kind of likes that spring lineup because not a lot of games come out in the first 6 months of the year, and that's the perfect time to sink some hours into a Rockstar game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, if it was to come out this year, where would be a good spot? Because it's already looking like, the holiday lineup's going to be pretty packed as it is right now. So.
Right.
I would probably have to say August. Without it having to compete with a lot of really popular multiplayer plat games, that it would have to possibly come out in August if they did want to release it.
I was thinking that too, but Red Dead's got that cult following. I think it's gonna do well wherever it's put, but I mean, I can see that.
If it comes out at the end of the year, Battlefield, COD, Halo, it don't matter what you put up against it. It's gonna beat the crap out of all of them.
Yeah, I probably
in
agree.
terms of sales, But
maybe mid-November, end of November then would probably be a decent.
Yeah, because when GTA was released, didn't it outsell Call of Duty that year?
I think it did. I'm not sure on the math on that
And
one.
I think by a wide margin.
Yeah, but GTA is really popular, so
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Regardless of when they release it, they're good to go.
True, but I don't know that many people that are into Red Dead that much. So, I mean, I think it's going to do well. I just don't know if it's going to sell just as much as the other ones against Call of Duty. So,
yeah,
I'm just saying. It would be cool, though, at the end of November, if it's something different, like Bully or LA Noire, then maybe September. Yeah, then I could see them doing that in September, so yeah. But at the same time, I think it's a specific studio that's doing this, right? Only in San Diego. So I think it depends on what games they did,
right.
Not the other side. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about LA Noire, a part 2 of that. I don't think that did so well, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one would be in September or something like that. But I know some people that want another one. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love a Bully too. That'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What about Mr. Red Dead himself, Zazz?
Oh yeah, no. I of course AsthMattic hit the nail on the head with that one, or I don't know, maybe it was Bear. I wasn't listening. No, if they don't do Red Dead, they're thinking stupid. That's just the short and simple of it. I mean, LA Noire I liked. I didn't think that deserved the hate that it got, but it's just no other franchise in my opinion are as good as Red Dead was. So they don't do
remember
another
when
one.
it leaked that supposedly it was backwards compat and everyone went nuts? So just think if they were to announce a Red Dead 2.
Exactly. That's like the best point you could bring up against that.
Oh, I'm sure that if it is Red Dead, I would be shocked if they don't announce it at E3 and then have it be a pre-order thing, because that's everything that Xbox has been doing lately is like, hey, there's a new third-party game coming out, and if you pre-order the new version, we'll give you the old version for free.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which, I mean, I would be shocked too. They got like so much potential. They could honestly just release like a full disc-based Undead Nightmare 2 when people freak out. They had the best in everything.
Wasn't Red Dead like the most requested back and pack game?
I think it was right behind Black Ops 2.
Yeah, it was right
It was one of them,
Yeah, it was top 3 for sure.
Yeah, so
should have been
that's
most requested.
That's the thing with what I've seen of like the Red Dead Redemption fan base is they're not super vocal like every day. Like they're not the kind of fan base who's going to actively go out on Twitter and be like, blah blah blah, like we want this, we want back compat, we want Red Dead Redemption 2.
The Call of Duty guys are just so annoying and boisterous.
Yeah, like you see that from other fan bases. Like they're like going to be out there like really hounding the developers, whereas the Red Dead Redemption fans are no less passionate. They're just not as vocal. So it's that, I feel like if it'll be one of those things you're like, oh yeah, cool, blah blah blah, but then if they announce it, it's going to go crazy.
I agree.
Those people are going to come out of nowhere.
People are going to pass out at E3 and cry and everything else.
That'll be like the Fallout.
And that's
that'll be
probably
like the Fallout 4 of E3.
Yeah.
Plus, they would probably release the backwards compat game at that time then.
I'll definitely cry. I for sure will. Like that guy with the Shenmue 3, I will be way worse than he was.
Confirmed
I'll be in tears.
We'll need to have a
Super
live
confirmed
cam
tears.
on Zazz. then.
You will have to. It's the only emotion you'll ever see out of me.
That's too good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. All right, so let's. EA's been approached. Hang on here. EA's been being approached by developers to add games to the EA Access. What is everyone's thoughts on this? Is this good news? Is it bad news?
It's good news. It's me.
What developers would you guys like to see in the vault or in
Ubisoft.
Yeah, it would have to be. I would think them. I mean, because they have a huge lineup. That's what like the top 3, Ubisoft and with Activision and with EA. A vote just for those 3 alone. Like I forgot what podcast was talking about it the other day. Might have been TXR with the whole. If you just buy an Xbox and you just get EA Access, that's enough games right there that can last you quite a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So just
Especially-
adding. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, especially the fact that they want to actually bring back, EA wants to actually bring all of their 360 games to the vault as well.
It's funny because everybody hates EA, but yet with this EA Access, they're doing. It's like you don't hate them as much because of that. I love EA Access. It's great.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Like, I think it'll add more value. I don't know if the bigger developers are necessarily on board yet. I think eventually they'll get there. But I think it's interesting that devs are actually asking, when technically I guess Microsoft isn't the market leader this gen. So I think it's kind of interesting. I think developers see the value themselves in EA Access. So.
Yeah, I mean that's a selling point just for Xbox alone. I'm surprised they don't advertise it a little bit more. Like they should have a bundle where you just get EA Access just for a year.
They did that last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave it away.
Yeah, the Madden one.
But this should be but this should be a guaranteed bundle. Any vanilla Xbox should already come with at least a month.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, that's a big selling point to me. That's just as big as anything else that Xbox has to offer, in my opinion.
Now this is relatively baseless, but I would be interested to see if at E3 EA comes out with Microsoft and they announce that all of their games will be
that would be huge.
That all the 360 games will now be available. I just say that because I miss Mass Effect so much.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna be showing Mass Effect this E3, so.
Yeah, right.
They probably announced that too. I think the planets
Jamie's
are aligning.
going nuts right now.
I wouldn't see Activision doing it though. They're too associated with I think Sony to actually bring that to the Microsoft and bring it to EA Access. So I would probably say like Ubisoft would probably be their best bet, or at least the strongest one that would ask to add games to the vault. But
the Assassin's Creed and the Far Cry is definitely.
Yeah, but someone brings up a good point though. Like as long as they don't raise the price.
Well, that was going to be my next thing is like, we were talking about this, I think, on Xbox Nation, and I brought it up, and I was like, if they did this and they added more, I would be fine with paying like $50 for this because
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
for me, I'd be fine. Like, I think it's actually really cheap right now.
I mean, to me, $30 is a
Don't
steal.
say that.
Yeah, that's
Don't
it.
say that. Don't tell them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them you pay
Jinx it.
more.
Well, as long as they put more games, then it shouldn't be that much of a big problem to a lot of people. As long as you keep coming out with games, it doesn't have to be every day, but it could be like every month, a whole bunch of games here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
But-
like, for me, I'm a sports fan. I mean, I'm not into the Maddens, but I love NHL, and I love, obviously, the UFC.
Yeah.
So, I already have UFC digital, but, like, the hockey, I'll end up buying the hard copy, and when it comes to the vault, I could just trade that game in, and now I have it, you know?
Right.
So it works out good for sports fans in particular, and then just the 10 hours free trial. I mean, that's
huge.
That's awesome.
It's also discounts if you're
Yeah,
buying
that
the
too,
new
yeah.
games as well.
True.
Yeah.
I'm surprised other people haven't jumped on board and done their own version of it. I would have thought Activision for sure would have done this since they love monies.
That's definitely.
Of that money.
And I think that's kind of what stops people from going to the EA Access is because, they do have a lot of sports game in there, and I think if they actually provided more variety of games, I think a lot more people would actually be more focused actually joining this.
Maybe like the other developers haven't really, done this yet because they just don't want to develop or put in the money to develop, a similar thing. Maybe them going to EA Access that's already there, it's already established, that seems like a better proposition for them,
True. I could see smaller developers wanting to do this, not Activision or
Yeah.
Maybe Ubisoft. I don't
Square
know.
Enix.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they trust me, they got the fans. They'll do it. If there's
Well, the thing is that the reason that EA Access works is because EA publishes X number of games a year, right? Somewhere between 6 to 12 games a year, and that means that they have this backlog that they can establish, and that's why Ubisoft is so reasonable because they have similar release schedules. So when we talk Square Enix, they've got good games. But they've got the backlog on 360, but do they have enough modern releases to justify a similar subscription service like EA Access?
Yeah, I agree. Same like with the Bethesda. Everyone would love a Fallout, obviously, but how many? You only get so many Bethesda games yearly. You get 2 maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah, but if they were to turn around and join EA Access,
That's what I'm saying. That would be.
it would be more beneficial to them.
It's not worth it for them to make their own service, but this system already works really well.
Would it stay as EA Access, or would they have to change their name?
I think it would stay. I mean,
can
it's
stay.
kind of a...
See, what I didn't get about that whole announcement, were they saying Ubisoft wants to put games in the EA Access, or were they just kind of saying, hey, we're interested in this model, can you tell us how you did it?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
It was worded very vaguely.
Yeah, it was very vague. I think they were just, probably had probing questions about EA Access. But, I mean, still, like, even smaller developers and stuff, that couldn't afford developing their own might be looking into EA Access as well. I mean, I think it would be cool all the way around, honestly.
Yeah, that's big. Like I said, that's a big selling point for Xbox, and I'm not sure if there's a contract, if it's exclusive for a year or two or whatever, but Microsoft has to do whatever they can do to keep it on their console, because if not, that's going to be a big loss. Even though, they're still going to sell. But this is big. A lot of people may look at an Xbox that's not, the casual gamer, if they know about this, they may choose an Xbox over PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's big, man. Like, when they announced this, I was like a beta tester for it, and I loved it. I paid for a year immediately.
That's what I was actually going to bring up. If say these other other developers do join in and start adding games, do you think Sony will actually try to bring it? Because I know they turned it down when EA asked them the first time around.
Well, they turned it down because of their streaming network with the PS Now or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they turned it down for that reason, which I'm sure they're kicking themselves in the ass right now for that, because from what I understand, Now is not really that good,
Daniel in the chat had a good thing to call it as well. He said just call it the Vault instead of just EA Access. Just call it the Vault. That would be all encompassing. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That sounds expensive.
But
awesome.
I mean, they're even keeping it updated. You know, like you guys seen the way it looks now compared to when it first came out.
yeah.
You know, so I mean, they're trying to keep it, you know, appealing to the eye.
I
Used to
do
be a
think-
lag fest going through it.
I do think, though, if PlayStation changes their mind for some reason, I think that EA would go over there because they just want to spread the word. And they already have another one on PC, and it's called Origin.
Origins, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. Like, at the end of the day, you know, it's a business. It's all about the money. So
Exactly.
they do what they need to do. All right, cool, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some Batman. More specifically, the new remastered Return to Arkham. They're all redone assets using the Unreal Engine. It's going to cost us $50. It's releasing June 26th. I know a lot of us are a bit down on remasters. It's kind of crazy this gen. What does everyone think about remasters and the Batman collection?
I can say one thing. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Batman! I had to do it.
I'll start off.
Go.
I'm actually really interested in this. I don't really care for remasters unless it's Gears, but I really like this because I didn't.
Wow.
I can't even get away with one. Okay. But I'm interested in this Batman because I didn't play it last gen. I saw my ex play those games and I thought they were cool. And I played it here and there, but I never played it on my account. So I will be picking this up because it looks awesome, and I like Batman.
Yeah, like, I agree. I think this is fantastic. I did a video on this, and one of my biggest beefs was this is, like, where's Arkham Origins? Like, yeah, there's an argument to be said, like, you know, it wasn't developed by Rocksteady or whatever, but, you know...
Had the best boss fights.
I know, dude, it was a really good game. Like, I mean, this remaster should be called, like, you know, Rocksteady Collection or something, not Arkham, honestly. But I think it's going to add, you know, great value, even at $50. I mean, you're getting all the DLCs, all the games been remastered. Yeah.
And it's coming out this summer, so
Yeah.
if, you know, if somebody's looking to play some, they got that to look forward to.
For sure. What about you, Zazz?
Yo, I'm not happy about the Origins thing.
Why you're not happy?
Because I'm a huge Deathstroke fan, you know that, and that was like the main game he was in. It's you know, even if What's Their Faces made it, Warner Brothers directly made it as opposed to Rocksteady, like, Origins was still a good game.
I agree.
It doesn't make any sense to not have it on there. Like, it doesn't make sense to not have Blackgate on there too. They should just add everything. But I mean, you know, I'm gonna play it. That's like one of my top 10 franchises.
Yeah, it's one of the best superhero games out there, man.
I mean,
honestly.
I'll rent it. I'm not paying $50, but you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm excited to see this one happen because as soon as you talk about Batman, there's one guy I work with who always comes up in my head who, like, all he does on Xbox is play Batman games, and he waited a long time to buy an Xbox One because of, you know, playing his Batman games on the 360. And I'm excited for this because now that he has come over to the Xbox One, if he, you know, he's got this opportunity, he's got more Batman to play on that. You know, and I'm sure there's, you know, he's just one guy, but I'm sure there's a ton of other people out there in that exact same boat. And he waited a long time to buy an Xbox. More games in the hands of more people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first two, like, you know, Batman games are fantastic games anyway. Everybody should be trying them out. I think it's pretty good.
I think it's also, you know, bringing out the remaster to, say, the newer generation of gamers and stuff, gives them the opportunity to actually try this game at a better quality and a nicer looking than, you know, the 360s. And of course, they're not backwards compat, so it's not like, you know, if you don't have the 360, and, you know, most of the younger generations don't. They only have the Xbox One, so good chance are they haven't played it, and this gives the opportunity for a lot of them to play some of our favorite games as well.
Agreed.
And it doesn't feel super dated then at that as well.
Right,
like, that was one thing that I went through when I started playing Oblivion. You know, all of my new friends who are Elder Scrolls fans were like, "Oh, you got to play Morrowind. It's so much, you know, it's so much this, it's so much that, whatever." They liked it more. And even when I went to play it, I couldn't get into it because it felt so dated. But with this,
that game was rough. The game was rough
It was
going
a
from
proper
Oblivion to Morrowind.
remake then, right?
Yeah. Say
So-
what?
No, the Batman, it is a proper remake then, right? It's not just a paint
No,
job?
yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
1080
no,
paint job. No,
they've gone from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4.
Oh, there you go. That's a
for
selling point within itself just for the fans.
right, yeah. I mean, for
Yeah.
reference, Gears 3 is on Unreal 3, and Gears 4 is on Unreal 4. So you know you could expect similar jumps in lighting quality. I know people like to take a big jump on Gears 4's visuals, but the lighting is
I do,
on the 3.
especially.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll bring Origins, because they didn't put Origins into the collection. I wonder if they'll bring it backwards compat, though.
That could be a
I'd
good
like that.
selling point for getting the collection. You know, get the Origins with it, back and pat. That'd be kind of cool. Cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next subject here. We got any racers in the panel today?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Me too. All right, next up we have GT Sport. They've come out with an event showing off the game and release date. It's offering 137 cars, 19 locations, and 37 tracks. What did everyone think about the GT Sport? Anyone get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It looks good in a world without Forza and without Drive Club, honestly. The graphics are okay, but the Gran Turismo, especially the last Gran Turismo, similarly had this issue where the sound wasn't right. And in a lot of games, it's okay if the sound isn't great, but obviously with cars, sound is really important. And for some reason, Gran Turismo has always had this thing where instead of sounding like a motor, every car sounds like a vacuum that's been modified in an audio system. Similarly, every time you go around a turn, you get that stereotypical cartoony screech of the tires.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry that the developers might not have actually ridden a car that's gone fast before, because the game's audio is what really bothers me. I don't mind a game that doesn't look great, but just the audio in Gran Turismo is such a turnoff for me. It's a step down even from Drive Club, which had pretty good a presentation.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Bear. Like in a world without Forza, this would kind of be good. But at this point, like they're releasing 137 cars, and Forza's released 450 at launch. I mean, that's really low. I think that's lacking content to me.
Yeah.
Also, you have to be kind of wary, too. I mean, the developers came out during that event and said, yo, the game's like 50% done right now, and it's going to be releasing in November. Like, I don't see how...
And they canceled the beta to launch on time. Like,
yeah, like...
That logic is horrifying.
Yeah. Like, you as a gamer, like, you got to be worried about this, like, right now. And the whole game being rushed, I just worry about launch, man. Are we going to have, like, another, possible Street Fighter 5 or Master Chief Collection kind of thing coming on here? Like, come on.
Yeah, that's where I was going to get at. I'm not... Anyone that knows me on Twitter, I'm not into racers. And watching the trailer that was released, the game looks unfinished. And, I mean, there's even screen tearing in the trailer. You know what I mean? And it's basically Gran Turismo 6 with the paint job, in my opinion. And, you could take what I'm saying, with a grain of salt because I'm not into racers, but I played Forza, and it's like night and day compared to what this is going to be. Yeah, it's only 50%, like GKB said, but, that's not far from now for the release date. And to me, it just looks unfinished, and I don't know. Forza, if I'm going to buy myself a racer, it's going to be Forza,
Well, and I hate to jump back in, but I'm just very concerned that PlayStation/Sony canned their Drive Club studio, which made a game. Drive Club certainly had its issues. It was not a great game, but
it was pretty
visually and from an audio standpoint, they nailed it. Frankly, Drive Club is arguably a better looking game than Forza, so it's just like it's very concerning that they can the Drive Club team and keep on a team that's making a racer that maybe doesn't look quite as nice as anything that we would expect on next-gen consoles.
Well, that's the other thing that worries me, too, is, like, with Drive Club, they didn't do too bad when they sold it, but they still, like, got rid of that studio. What's going to happen to Polyphony if this game comes out, it's broken, it gets a bad reception? What's going to happen to that studio?
Yeah, but Gran Turismo is going to sell, so... The name alone, it's gonna sell. I just hope the PlayStation fans. It's not a fanboy thing. What I'm trying to say, it's just I hope they, put the fanboy away. And the game is not what it's up to be. They gotta stop. Because a lot of them they think Forza's garbage. but yet they're gonna support this. You know what I mean? This doesn't make any sense. Put this fanboy stuff away and realize what's a better game compared to, because it's gonna be compared to Forza immediately. The day that it's released, you're gonna see comparisons everywhere. There might even already be some out.
What I'm more interested in, and I guess I'm diverting the whole conversation, and I apologize for that. But my thing is, so you guys said they're targeting November, correct?
Yes.
That's interesting to me, only in that I wonder what the rest of PlayStation's lineup looks like, because we were expecting Horizon from Guerrilla, and we were expecting oh god, what was the other game?
Last Guardian.
Last Guardian, right? And my thing is, October, November are typically where you launch your blockbusters. So I'm interested to see, with Gran Turismo coming out in November, how they're going to delegate those other two titles, or, like we talked about in previous episodes, will we see Horizon or will we see The Last Guardian get another delay? I think that's more telling than anything from a rushed trailer for a lackluster racer.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they picked November just because of what's going to be coming out. I mean...
Well, if they're only halfway through development, then I don't think they can afford to come any sooner.
Honestly,
they should just push it to spring, if anything, just for their own.
Well, that's what I hope too. Wendy is like, you know what? I hope they come to their senses and just push it back. Like, I think for the fans and PlayStation fans and all that kind of stuff, they need to do the right thing, finish the game, and make sure it comes out correct.
Yeah, I mean, do it for the fans at least, because they have a huge following. They have a gigantic following. The game alone, the name alone, is just. People are going to jump on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. The name is very popular because I grew up with that name. I played 1, 2, and 3. I've been playing racer games since I was little, and the fact that I heard Gran Turismo was doing another game, I mean, even if I don't have even if I don't play on PlayStation 4 that much, I still I was alert to it because it's Gran Turismo. And I was like, oh, let me see this trailer. I didn't like the trailer. Like, half of it looked good and the other half looked bad. So there was, certain scenes that you're like, oh, it looks pretty. And other scenes, they looked, horrible. I don't know. And when I played it on the PS3, I didn't like it at all. I was really disappointed with the way it sounded, the way it felt. And you guys are completely right. The fact that, you have Forza now, it set the bar really high. Ever since I've been playing Forza, and you could feel the difference in the car, you could hear. When you go back to Gran Turismo, it's not the same. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. When I played it on the PS3 last gen.
Yeah, Tim Dog got me to download Forza, the demo. I never played a Forza, ever. And when I played the demo, I was like, whoa. I was shocked. I mean, I don't know much about cars, but I know the sound that I'm hearing is very realistic. It's not just some sound that's made up to sound nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got I don't know. I hope they do it for their fans. That's all I, care for, really.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what AsthMattic has to say on this one. He's a big racer guy like me, so.
Nice.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's I don't know why they want to rush this, because, racer games are definitely worth the wait. They're games that typically have long legs, so you don't have to worry about, Call of Duty style getting one out every year because you're going to be okay. And especially with Gran Turismo, they've got more to lose than they have to gain. So I don't want to see them, again, like you said, for the sake of their fans, I don't want to see them rushing out a game that's halfway finished or 3/4 finished, because you really gotta nail that. Exactly. And I mean, at this point, I guess the best way to describe my emotions would be scared.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, because Forza is just getting better and better every time, and when we see the next Horizon, I think it's just going to be mind-blowing, because 2 is so great. I'm still finding new reasons to love Horizon 2, and then we're already at the point now where we're looking at a third one coming out. So to see Gran Turismo maybe slipping a little bit is scary.
That's very scary. Anybody else before we move
No,
Nope.
on? All right, cool. Let's go on to the next one. So now into what Techland could be working on. Reports suggest that they're working on 2 games, one possibly Dying Light 2, and the other one no one really knows. What we do know is the studio is working on IPs. One is the Warclaw studio, the devs behind Dying Light, and the Warsaw reports. One of them is an open-world fantasy RPG-like game. What's everyone think?
I'm excited. I like Dying Light, but it needed a little more to it. There was just some things about Dying Light that they just needed more. I don't know exactly how to elaborate
blood,
more.
Right? You wanted more blood.
Well,
brains.
no, they kind of focused a lot more on the people than the zombies, which, I understand, but I would have actually liked to have seen a little more about the zombies. Like, the multiplayer mode, that was fun. I actually enjoyed being able to be the creature that went after, people. You were able to actually be like the zombie, and you were able to jump into like other people's games and just like run around and kill them, which I thought was just hysterical. I really enjoyed doing it. So to see what they come up with for a second one, I'd be really interested to see. And then of course the fantasy game. Well, I love anything fantasy, dragons and all that. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What about
Yes.
you, Zazz? Oh, Bear, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'll just be quick then. I feel the same way. I think that there are some things that need to be fixed. Like I think that the whole mechanic of nighttime, me being the baby, is whenever I'd see it start to get dusk, I would just sprint to the safe house and just sleep until morning, and I felt like that was a cheap way around that mechanic.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like there was really no point in even including it. Like they didn't force you to be out in the night. Additionally, I felt like the free running was sweet, but I felt like there were times when it was clunky, and I'd like to see a little bit more polish. I recently replayed they had an expansion pack that came out earlier this year, and I still thought the controls were a little bit clunky, so I'm interested to see how they can iterate on the franchise. Sorry about that.
No, fine. No, you're worries. What about you, Zazz?
I don't agree with that they should force you to be out in the nighttime there, Bear. I like that. I like that you did the same thing I did, where you went and hid immediately, and it was like precautionary. Like, I dig that. No, that game was good, and it was actually really like underrated at the time of it coming out, and I thought it was like a really well put together, good conceptually game. I like the free running aspect of it and everything like that. Anything they make, just more games is not going to be a problem. Fantasy stuff, I just can speculate. Like, I'm hoping fantasy doesn't mean like medieval style, and I'm hoping it means something steampunk. But I don't think we get enough of that. Dishonored 2 is the only thing we got coming out anytime soon that's even close to that. I'd like to see way more out of that universe. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with like Bear. I think my biggest problem with Dying Light was kind of like the controls weren't as tight as they could have been. That being said, though, like taking a bar and just smashing a freaking zombie's face in felt like really good. But but yeah, what do you guys think about like the fantasy RPG type game? Like, do you think that's kind of like not really in their wheelhouse? Really, they've been kind of doing
right,
these
and that's what makes it so hard to predict, right? Because should we expect, the Dying Light mechanics of the more you use a certain feature, like the more you use an axe, the better you'll become with that weapon, or should we expect something, tapping a little bit closer to Bethesda's territory? It's hard to predict, right? When it's basically an untested studio. We'll see.
Yeah,
Especially being fantasy, like, what exactly are they determining as fantasy? Like, Zazz said, there's steampunk, but, then there's also the mystical aspect of fantasy. Like, there's so many things that they could actually touch on, and it would be really interesting to see what they bring into the element of the RPG-style gaming, so...
Cool.
Yeah, I'm always up for new games. I just wanted to add to Dying Light. Did you guys get a chance to read any of the articles that they posted? Because I think it was videogamer.com. They interviewed one of the guys from Techland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's getting kind of ahead of himself, but he actually said that, and I'm going to quote him, that Dying Light may be too ambitious for PS4 and Xbox One. That Techland needs to determine if current gen is capable of delivering the product.
Dying Light 2, you mean?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Dying Light 1, I think it especially after the update, it ran so much better. But my thing is that if you're, where are your minds at? Because the majority of people that bought your game were on PS or on consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to say something like that, it's like, don't calm down. You finally made a very, very good game.
Yeah.
You need to understand where your fans are at.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that point too, but maybe he's also alluding to like the mid-generation upgrades too. Like maybe those will have more power. Maybe he's trying to allude to something like that.
And I thought about that too, because then if that's the case, they may actually push it back. Let's just say, for instance, if it's coming out in 2017, for example, now they may release it in 2018 because of what's going to be coming out or what's said to be coming out. I'm just hoping he's not getting ahead of himself in terms of where the PS4 and Xbox at currently, because I would love to play Dying Light 2.
Well, my thing is, and I don't mean to be critical, but my criticism of that statement from him is that, and technology improves a lot faster now than it did when Xbox 360 and PS3 launched. But
yeah, definitely.
I just feel like we're 2.5 years into the life cycle, right? So it's like you really shouldn't be having statements like that. Like for example, if you look at, for example, Battlefield 4 and then even Battlefront, which came out 2 years later, like Battlefield 4 is still a great looking game, but if you look at how DICE managed to make Star Wars Battlefront look, it's insane, and that's just because they've gotten more familiar with the tech. So if you've made one game on a piece of hardware, I'm not sure that you've hit all of the optimization benchmarks you need to say, oh, our next step is not possible. Like, if CD Projekt Red is comfortable on these consoles, I'm not exactly confident that Techland is right in what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it'd be different if it's coming from a Bethesda or CD Red Project, but guys, relax. You guys just made one game that was extremely successful,
Yeah, I mean, powder goes to your head kind of thing, Anyway, anybody else want to chime in on Techland's new game, or want to move on?
Well, I don't really know. I think SheWolf kind of said it best, that like whatever it was that Dying Light was really missing, it was whatever that X factor was that I could never quite put my finger on it either. But playing it, I always really felt like it was a great game. But it was one of those things like it's missing something, but I don't know what it is.
It could be that like polish thing, like how me and Bear was, because that kind of took me out at some points. It was just like, man, this feels really awkward to do. It shouldn't feel like this. I don't know.
Well, it's just the game does look great. It does, it has its days, its nights. The graphics were appealing and stuff, but there was just something that it just couldn't keep me playing it, and I kept feeling like it's like I really want to play this game, but it's missing something to keep me drawn in to actually continue playing it. And
that's interesting. Hopefully they fix it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that's interesting also, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that every time they have an add-on, they really like it. So I hear positive things, and if they come out with another game, I think they would, do what the fans want, and I think a lot of people will be happy with it, I think.
See, I haven't played the update or the add-on, like the new Nightmare or whatever it's called. Like, I haven't tried that one, but there's a lot of people, like for instance Mooch and stuff, that say that it's actually like a really great add-on. So
yeah, that's what I hear from different people as well.
Yeah, it's like an additional 20, 30 hours plus.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's pretty extensive for sure. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. So next up, we have Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics dropping some news about Tomb Raider at E3. I want to go ahead and see what everybody thinks this could be. I'm thinking maybe it's the PS4 release, possibly a Neo mode. They're gonna show that off, kind of thing. We were talking on Xbox Nation 2, probably could be that maybe a sequel to that Tomb Raider Go, or that mobile type game. So I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think that you're right. I think that it's way too early for another Tomb Raider game. If anything, I think they're going to be like, hey, here's a PS4 release date, and then they'll throw PlayStation gamers a bone for waiting, which probably will mean the base version comes with the DLC and maybe something special for Neo or for VR. We'll see.
Shout out to Brutal. It's Tomb Raider in space. Why not? Everything's in space nowadays, right? See, I look at it this way. There's several different things it could be. It could just be that, of course, there is the PlayStation 4. They're going to announce that. Or it could be that there's another expansion that they're bringing out. that could be even more wow factor, because really, I get, what is it, the season pass, those expansions are pretty much done, right? So maybe people actually enjoyed the game enough that maybe they actually made an extra expansion that they may bring out, something like that as well.
Yeah, I think it could be that. It could be another add-on. Also, if anything, wishful thinking here, but yeah, maybe it's easier for another Tomb Raider game that is not going to come out right away, but later on. I doubt that it's going to be the PlayStation thing because we already know, so I don't know why they would say a new announcement about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, like I could totally see that, Fox. You're probably right. I don't see why they would show, but maybe just to get the PS4 fans like hyped for Tomb Raider, because they kind of didn't get it for like a year now. So I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it'll be Tomb Raider in Egypt.
I don't know. I also hear like Microsoft might have like a multi-game deal for Tomb Raider. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that'd be kind of cool too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope it's not the PlayStation thing that we already know about. I mean, it's fine if they want to show that in the PlayStation stage, but I'm hoping for something else.
Yeah, I'm hoping for new news too, not anything we already know.
Yeah.
When they announced this, what was the exact wording of it? Like, was it something exciting, or you know what I mean? Like, did they make it seem like it's something new?
Yeah, they did. They said we got some new news to announce at E3. That's really all. They were really vague. So.
Yeah, but see, like even thinking with the PlayStation stuff, I mean, that's not really news. We all know it's coming out,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know. I mean, it's like you guys said, it's still too early to make a part 2 of Rise of Tomb Raider, and I don't know. They kind of.
But really, it's not too early to announce it, though.
Oh, definitely. But Xbox has been trying to announce things coming out like
soon, like within
this year. After the 2013 E3, I'm not saying every game, but the majority of games that they've announced at their E3s are already out.
Yeah.
Or coming out later this year,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and in Crystal Dynamics, I'm not sure if everyone is in on this, but Crystal Dynamics has kind of been going through a bit of a change lately. Their creative director
he left.
Left and went to Infinity Ward, which probably means there's a significant void in the company, at least for the time being. So I don't know. Again, like I'm never opposed to more Tomb Raider. I think it's a great franchise, but I don't know if we'll see it this E3.
Yeah, for me, like, I think it's too early. Like, you're right, Bear. I really don't want to see anything because I know it's probably, like, a couple years out before we'll even get it in our hands. So, yeah, I'm not sure, man. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. One that I'm really excited about, actually. Next topic is for the leak of... the Titanfall 2 release date. I want to go ahead and preface this with, this is a leak. Take it with a grain of salt, people. Like, this might not be true, but it could possibly be coming out August 30th, which I think is actually a good spot for it. What does everybody else think?
I think it's a smart date because you got Battlefield 1 that's going to come out, middle of October?
Mm-hmm.
So if they bring that middle of October, Call of Duty at the first week in November, I think bringing Titanfall 2 would actually be a really good, it would be a really good move for them, especially with it coming on both consoles now. It's not just, Xbox exclusive. With them bringing it to both, that's giving everyone a chance to jump on this shooter because, let's be honest, fall is when it's like shooter season. It really is. So
Yeah.
With that being said, why not be the first one out there? Get yours out first, get your claws into them before the other one, especially with EA releasing both of their shooters, and I'm assuming they're to compete with Call of Duty, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
Because if it doesn't come out in August, to me, they should push it to spring, because from what I read, they've quoted an EA spokesman saying that he thinks it's gonna come out in at least October. That's not a good idea because one, you're going up against your own product, which is Battlefield, and Battlefield's not going to lose their customers, their fans for
Right.
Titanfall. And then you got COD. COD is COD. if I made video games, I would stay away from COD as much as I can for the reasons of, they have a huge fan base, whether people like it or not, August would be perfect, and they'll actually grow a fan base to me to where it may be established to where when people do play COD and the ones that, it's the same shit, I'm done with this, going back to Titanfall. That's where Titanfall could really gain and take away fans from Call of Duty if that were to happen, if the game is a success,
I actually just want to chime into what you just said. With EA bringing out both these games, you have the futuristic game in Titanfall 2, and then
so they're gonna naturally
the realistic game in Battlefield 1. So for them to release these two games, it's not like technically they're competing against each other because they are two different style of games. Yes. So you are going to get two different style of fan bases to these games. So for them to bring out both of these games, I think would be smart for them to do before COD, to crush COD with the fact that Call of Duty's bringing out Modern Warfare 4 to kind of compete with the boots on the ground for Battlefield 1, and that's like a really big hitter that everybody has been asking for, and then you have the Space COD. So you have two games to compete against these two games.
Yeah, so look, I think that August would be interesting, but just from a marketing perspective, I think that date is BS.
Okay.
Just because with the game being like fully unveiled, meaning we'll see the first gameplay by, I think, June 13th or 14th is when EA has their play event. That would mean that they have 8 to 10 weeks to basically market their game and kind of show everything that you would expect from a AAA release, which I just think is somewhat impractical. Think about, I can't think of a game in history that's a AAA game that shows its first gameplay and then releases 10 weeks later, right? That's unheard of. I think it could be interesting, but I think that I don't remember who said it, but I think the idea of EA putting Battlefield and Titanfall on both sides of Call of Duty, I think that is a much more likely scenario that we'll see this fall.
See, I think that would hurt them. I really do.
We'll see. I just think that do you know how aggressive a marketing campaign you'd have to do to launch a game in 10 weeks?
Oh no, I agree with that. That's why I'm leaning more towards them releasing Titanfall next year for the fact of what you just said. And then
no, Titanfall's not going to release next year because Todd McFarlane, he wants to release his action figures the same time, and they're set to release fall. So
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it to me, I would think it would be better next year. I think, I don't know, I still think, everyone keeps saying Call of Duty, money talks, and Call of Duty makes that money. Yeah, they're not making as much as they used to, but you have to remember, and I know I'm very biased towards Call of Duty, and the thing is I'm not the one messaging people that I banged your mother. I'm not those guys, you know what I mean? And if you look at the statistics of people who play the game, you'd be surprised. The average age is around my age, but you still have those casuals that follow esports, that follow, they want to make their quick scoping montages and stuff like that. You can't do that in no other game but COD. And I think you're playing with fire when you do something like that. Like Battlefield's got their fan base, they're gonna make theirs. But Titanfall still, even though Titanfall 1 was very good, it's still fairly new.
But see, everybody wants this game, though, and especially PlayStation, because they didn't get the first one, and then they're bringing the campaign. They are kind of, really giving everybody what they really wanted with this game in the first place, and it did have a lot, it did have a big fan base just for being a multi-player game. Yeah. And now giving the fans what they actually wanted in the game, I don't know, that's pretty, that's pretty destructive against COD, especially for how much hate the whole space thing has got.
And that's why COD releasing with COD 4, that's the final blow right there. I'm playing Black Ops, and I'm like, the game just, to me, I feel like it just came out.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I can't even. Oh my God! I cannot wait for November. Either way, I'm gonna be happy because I'm getting a old school World War II shooter I'm getting my Modern Warfare. I'm getting a space shooter. I'm getting, you know, a Titanfall future. So any shooter fan out, and then you got Gears. You know, I'm not a big fan of Gears, but hey, I cannot Gears. People love it, and it is what it is. It's going to be a great freaking November, October. I cannot wait.
But see, I'm just kind of curious though if people are actually if the rumor's true, and when you buy the new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4 is apparently part of the new Call of Duty. You can't play it with you have to have that disc to actually play this.
Yeah, that's
and if that's the case, it may actually lose a lot more fans than what it thinks, because a lot of people pretty much had it in their mind they were going to buy it, get Modern Warfare 4, and then just trade in the new COD, and guess what? That ain't happening.
Honestly, SheWolf, I don't think it's going to hurt it at all.
No, it's not.
I think people really want Modern Warfare, and I've been on record and already said this on a couple podcasts. I think this is going to be probably one of the highest, selling Call of Duties because of that fact. But as far as like Titanfall being released in August, I kind of agree with Bear. Like, there's just too short a time between E3 and then to go ahead and get this marketing ramped up. They have to put tons of money into that. I think it's a little early, but it's going to be a hard game to place. I kind of agree with Wendy too, as far as like it should be in probably next year, probably around the same time it launched the first one. But from what those CEOs and their financial reports, they're pretty dead set on it's coming out before Battlefield 1. So
I think what will be more interesting than anything is and like I think we've all agreed here that like Titanfall and Battlefield 1 will scratch different itches, and I think that's probably true, and I agree with that. But I think it's more interesting to see if EA can convince people to buy both Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 and their adjacent season passes, right?
Yeah,
that's where we're going to see something interesting, right?
That's some money.
Yeah, and I think
never buy games, I'll buy all of it.
Yeah, I think this is more of a Titanfall versus Call of Duty, because I get really irritated when people compare Call of Duty to Battlefield, because they're two totally different games. I mean, besides it being a first-person shooter, you can't really compare the two at all.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that. Yeah.
I'm very, very, like I said, me as a gamer, I'm not losing. I'm not losing because I'm buying all of them. You know what I mean? So it's just with I almost kind of feel bad for Titanfall if they don't make what they think they're gonna make that month, because it seems to be with games nowadays. You want to sell a lot that first week. I mean, look what's going on with the whole Uncharted and Halo crap. You know what I mean? Like, it seems to be that first week, that first 2 weeks. That's what people talk about, and I don't know. I just hope Titanfall doesn't, get in its own way with Call of Duty being there. I mean, everyone knows in the industry to stay away from Call of Duty.
That's why I think it's going to be really interesting, Wendy, where they actually place, Titanfall 2. And see, they might even be ballsy and be like, you know what, we're going to release it right before COD. You never
definitely, because you got set dates for Battlefield and for COD already. So I'm very curious to what they're thinking with Titanfall.
And especially, isn't Call of Duty releasing on the Friday, so they could technically throw Titanfall 2 out that Tuesday?
See, and that's where Call of Duty is smart. Activision's smart too, because that Friday thing, what happens on Saturday and Sunday? Who doesn't have school?
Yeah, Doom did that, and got
that
pretty
was
big.
And look at come Saturday and Sunday, everyone and their mother were talking about Doom.
I'm so jealous of the UK and overseas guys, man. They get them on Fridays. I wish we could get Fridays.
Yeah, they gotta wait usually.
Yeah, that's true.
Talking about that, I think Titanfall, if just my opinion, I think they should actually release, like, say, halfway through November, so that way people get their fill of Call of Duty, they bought it, but then, the next checks are coming out, and people can get their big move on with the big Titans and the new swords, so...
Yeah, I don't want to think that I want Titanfall to sell bad in COD. Like I said, I'm very biased towards COD, but I want all these shooters to do well, because for me, I'm going to be happy. I want 1 million people every day on each game I play. You know what I mean? I don't want there to be a big gap, and I don't know, I hope people buy it. I really do,
Which is why this is a real surprise to me, because I'm like, really, August? It's kind of odd for a shooter to come out, around that time. But I am okay with it coming out before Call of Duty, because I know a lot of people that are going to get Gears and Battlefield and Titanfall, so maybe they won't get Call of Duty because they'll be already happy playing the games they already have.
And I think that's
Plus,
what EA's banking on. That's what they're hoping for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna happen.
I want to hear what Zazz has to say.
Huh?
I want to hear what you have to say about
The scene in Boondock Saints where they're saying the prayer while they dual shoot the guy through the head? I want somebody to gift that on to a COD versus these two games. I hope they sandwich COD in so hard that they destroy, obliterate. I will buy both full games and both season passes for both of my consoles out of spite to bolster every sale. If there was a way for me to spend money to negatively affect Call of Duty sales, I would. Like, I don't know, Kickstarter maybe? Maybe I do like a cash for COD kind of thing. Like, oh, sell me your pre-orders, promise you won't get it. I will do that. Because I am dying for this game to flop just like Assassin's Creed did so they can finally take a step back. Like, we've been on Black Ops. We know what a good COD feels like. We know what it tastes like and smells like. We've seen it. And we know that these aren't it. Like, this crap is not flying anymore. Titanfall, kill this futuristic bullcrap, punch it out of its... put it out of its misery, punch it out of its first place spot. Like... And be done with it. Like, I mean, sure, everybody wants to be MLG. Those guys are cheaters anyway, and I'm sure they're drugged up on something. Adderall. Don't
gosh, dude.
follow them. We got so many games now. Like, again, I'm not going to preach don't buy COD, but that's my message.
It sounds like you are.
Right.
I'm not going to go into it a
COD.
second time. I'm not going to preach it on the soapbox like I did before, like a reverend up on the mountain speaking out against evil and the devil, which is what this is. This is lazy game making. This is bullcrap tactics. Don't fall for Modern Warfare. They'll do it separate if you push hard enough. Everybody stay strong. Titanfall. Do it before, do it in August. Battlefield right in the middle.
How many Titanfalls is it going to take to where Titanfall is going to be the new Call of Duty, though? Because remember who makes Titanfall.
I mean, you're right. No, it's cyclical, and whenever that king rises, we'll dethrone them too.
Oh my gosh!
Whenever that's what I don't get about a lot of and for the people that you should hear me. I wish I could record myself when I play Call of Duty because you'd be surprised at shit that I say, even though I do love it. I hate Black Ops 3, but yet it's sold what it's sold, and people want it changed for how many years? They changed it. People hate it. Now they want to go back to World War whatever. Give it time. They're going to get sick of that too. Then they're going to go back to the regular boots on the ground.
I completely agree that it's
They're going to hate it. You know what I mean? So no matter what Call of Duty does as of right now, it's going to be a lose-lose situation, yet they're still going to be the number one selling game of the year.
Probably the best thing for them to do then is just leave and stop.
It's not going to happen as long as they keep making that money.
All right, guys. Let's get off that Call of Duty for a minute.
Okay, fine.
All right, you guys ready to move on? Or anybody else want to say anything else
I
about Titanfall?
could speak for an hour about this. Let's
About Titanfall, not Call of Duty.
Titanfall swords, man.
Me and Zazz, we're going to make our own podcast.
Yeah, right?
I'll believe anything Zazz says about a podcast that he's going to do when I actually see something.
That's fair, but it's hurt. And Titanfall has swords, so that's the end of it. That's the best thing.
Yeah,
Done.
Cool.
Done. Move on.
Cool. Moving on. All right, let's get into some games with gold. The new games of gold have been released, and surprise, surprise, the leak wasn't true.
No,
as we were telling
Not
everybody.
surprised. No, it's supposed to be Rise, but instead we get Goat Simulator. That's a really, really big difference, people.
Yeah, it's a big difference. But you know what? These games actually are pretty good.
I'm excited for the crew. Love that game.
Same here, AsthMattic. I'm really excited for the crew. What about? Go ahead, AsthMattic. What do you think about these games, man?
I think Goat Simulator is cool. I mean, I've never played it, and I will definitely download it and play it now. I mean, it's a comedy game. But I'm super excited to see that that's what they've brought out. And actually, with the crew, the funny thing is I have Wild Run Edition, but I've never actually played Wild Run. I have a code that I've never redeemed. So I will definitely be downloading this and playing Wild Run Edition. And I like it for me because I do a game night stream, and we were thinking of bringing a racing game into that. And there's one guy who didn't have any, and now I'm excited for him because now we're probably going to play the crew as a result of this, because now everyone who wants to play can just go download that game and play it. And it's a huge open world. You know, it has more of, for anyone who hasn't played it, it has more of an arcade feel than Forza does, but I like that. It's more of like, you know, if you don't want to be playing with a calculator and a protractor and really like, oh, I want to get everything I can out of my car, I just want to drive around and have a good time and do so with friends, the crew scratches that itch very well.
Isn't that the one that like you can drive all over like the United States?
Yep.
Yeah.
A version of the United States anyway.
Yeah, like it's obviously not life size, it's not to scale, but it's pretty good, and they do a good job of capturing like the cities. Like for me, like the first time I drove through like the Los Angeles area, the Southern California, like it feels enough like home. Like I feel like they definitely did their homework on the different areas of the country to make them feel right. And it's cool too because when you get a car, it's not just that car. You know, the modifications you can make are insane, and you can take a street car and turn it into an off-road vehicle and then go drive that in raid style races. And they offer a lot more, I'm not going to say more customization than Forza, but a different flavor of customization, and that makes for a totally different experience.
Awesome. Yeah, I think all these games are pretty good. Goat Simulator is probably the one that I'm least looking forward to, but
Same.
I definitely will probably play it just to get the achievements, because you know.
Have you played it before?
No, I haven't played it before.
It's the stupidest game ever,
Yeah.
but yet it's fun as shit.
That's what I keep hearing.
It's like how how Zazz felt about Homefront. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's glitchy as hell. It's fun, man.
That's cool. I'll give it a go.
My daughter has it on her iPad and on 360, and she loves it. She actually found in the sewers the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Oh, what?
Oh,
That's
And
hilarious.
she's only 5 years old.
Yeah, I think the Crew's going to be a really good pickup. Super Meat Boy, and that's a fantastic platformer game. And XCOM, I mean, come on, it's XCOM. So
Yeah.
I'm excited
Jimmy
about this,
Moran
actually.
had XCOM and he tried it and he's like, oh, it doesn't work. But
No,
I'm
it
pretty
works.
sure, yeah. Well, I thought it's not supposed to work until it actually releases on the 16th.
Major
no, that's a
Nelson.
different one.
Yeah, Major
Oh,
Nelson's
okay.
released today that XCOM is already available today. But you can't. I mean, if you already own it.
Yeah, if you already own it.
Oh, okay. I get
Oh,
it.
I thought you meant it. Okay, he's talking about actually working. I thought you were talking about like the mechanics or something.
Oh, yeah, no. Like actually working on back compat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. my
No,
bad.
that's a different. The one that he had was a different version. The one that's
Oh,
coming
he is
out.
like, yeah.
There's like a one with a blue cover and another one with a red cover, and the one that Jamie has is not going to be back compat yet.
Yeah, he's
Right.
got the red cover one.
Yeah. And,
Hello. Just make the same color game, people.
Yeah, it's called something else also. It's called XCOM Human something else, and the one that's coming out is Unknown or something like
Well,
that.
I think so. So the one that's back compat is kind of it's kind of like Massive Chalice style combat in that future setting. But then I think the version that you guys are talking about with the red case is kind of a third person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar, but the gameplay is definitely different. It's definitely a different genre.
Yeah, it's a strategy game.
Right.
It's
yeah.
like a better version of what old school strategy games were, like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, like
Well,
you can
anyone
move
who
2 or
wants
3
easy
steps,
achievements
you know.
can go for Goat Simulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Telling you, you'll have fun. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that
try
for
it out,
fun.
for sure.
I've seen a lot of people, especially young people, who aren't down with a lot of these games that are being offered this month. But XCOM and Super Meat Boy are like ridiculously good games.
Yeah.
Super
But
Meat Boy
this
is really
isn't
hard.
this isn't April's Games with Gold where they had the blockbuster games. I mean, it will be very, very rare when we have months that touch that kind of quality. But Super Meat Boy is like probably the best platformer.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
I guess
sure.
this is kind of debatable, but one of the best platformers of the past 10 years.
Did,
Like,
did
it's
you
insane.
beat that?
No, I've never beaten it. Never beaten it.
Have any of you
Yeah.
guys like played it or beaten it or anything?
I've played it.
Yeah, I played it, for sure.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, I played it.
I've played it, but I didn't play it like to really give an opinion about. In comparison to Ori, in terms of difficulty, it's the
Oh,
nod.
it's definitely, yeah. They're different
Yeah.
games. Like, it's not a consistent world like Ori. Like, it's definitely like levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's really hard to compare it to Ori.
Because
But
I heard Super Meat Boy is hard as hell.
It is
Yeah.
really hard.
It's
Yeah,
difficult.
it is.
Yes,
hard.
it's difficult.
Yeah, but I think the reason why a lot of people are not happy with it because they, I guess, hyped themselves up with this rumor
Right,
about
exactly.
Rise, and at the same time, since it is going to be June and E3, so they
Yeah.
thought maybe it's going to be a big month. We should have big games. So that's probably why a lot of people are
People, if you
disappointed.
guys want Rise, Rise is like $8 at GameStop.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
good.
love it.
I love the combat and fighting in that game.
You know, most people should have Rise. Come on, man. It was exclusive on Xbox. Go support
Yes.
that. Come on.
Yeah. late
Don't
fix.
even play that game with me. That game was alright at best.
Oh, man, that was
Wow.
good.
I thought
I
it was
kn-
alright. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's awesome. I'm playing it
visually
recently.
good, story good. Yeah, I'll give them both that. Cinematics good, but gameplay was just a drain.
Yeah, they
You
didn't.
know,
The gameplay is solid, but like they introduced you all of the core mechanics like within the
Yeah,
first
like-
half hour.
Yeah,
That's-
the first
that's the
couple
criticism.
minutes, and then it was just like,
Yeah.
But
Now I gotta do
launch
the same
launch
thing.
games are always shallow. Look at any
Yeah.
platform; they're always shallow. That's how it goes.
True, but I never played a game like that, so I
Yeah,
thought it
me
was
either.
awesome as soon as I played it.
maybe I just
Yeah,
didn't
I like the whole
setting.
medieval time and all that stuff. That's what
I think Zazz and I are just like permanently jaded. Pretty
you
much.
missed it, you know,
like
it's
my
the
new
negativity.
hashtag right now, like permanently jaded.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
funny
even like
part.
video games anymore.
To be
Go ahead,
honest
Fox.
with you, though, everyone should actually just be happy for the fact you're getting 4 free
Free stuff,
games that
yeah.
you can play on your Xbox.
True.
Download them anyways. If you don't think you're going to play them, download them because you never know. You may go back and actually try them
Oh, right.
anyways.
But I
Preach,
hate
that's
I
what-
hate when
preach.
I hate when I complain about a weak month. Like not really so much as 2016. 2016's been good, but like in 2015, you know, when we got Pool Nation like 3 months
3
in a
months in a
row.
row, yeah.
And like I would hate when I would say something about, you know, I'd make a comment on Twitter or whatever, and someone would be like, well, you're just entitled because it's a free game. And it's like, well, I mean, it's not really a free, I mean, I'm paying for the service, and it's a tacked on thing, and look, like Microsoft and I, it's a consumer to a, you know, I'm a consumer to them. That's not a relationship. If I don't like their content, I should be able to say I don't like their content.
Mhm.
I think people get this weird loyalty with PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold, but the fact of the matter is the more they compete and the more people complain, and I know complaining is bad, but the more people talk about, hey, this is a weak month, the more times we're going to have things like April where they give out the big, the big blockbuster games.
Yeah, but at the
Microsoft
same
can't do
time,
it right.
at the same time, though, I think we still got to keep our expectations in check and not, you know, think we're gonna get this every month. You know, these big
True.
AAA titles. Like,
Yeah,
Oh, I
there's something to
agree.
be said there.
Yeah, completely
No,
agree.
no, like this month is great. Like I'm not complaining about this
Yeah,
month.
yeah, for
I
sure.
just meant like if I'm like I remember saying like, you know, the third month that Pool Nation was offered, they're like, well, it's still a free game, and it was like,
Yeah.
it's still a
But not 3 months in a
terrible
row.
game.
I know, I totally agree.
Yeah.
True, I don't like repeats.
Yeah, I don't
But at
like
the
It's
same-
better that, hey, talking about repeats, it's better than some of the countries overseas. They actually get
Oh,
the
I
exact
know.
same games with gold several times because of their game restrictions.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was saying on.
That's the after effects of communism right there, people.
Well, so like what I was saying the other day on Twitter was because everyone was pushing around that Rise leak, and I said right away, like, hey, if this is from Japan, then we know this is fake because they can't have Rise or BioShock because they're rated like the equivalent of adult only in Japan, and like they're not allowed to give that out, which is why we keep seeing like the same
horrible.
3 games in Japan.
I just wanted that fight night.
That's why it's all
Oh,
anime
man,
over
Fight
there,
Night.
is because the violence. That's so sad.
Right?
But it is getting late, people,
Yeah.
and it's question time, I think. What do you think, GKB?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into some questions.
I got one from Poison Ivy. We got, what surprise sequels would you like or want announced at E3? Mine would be either Bully 2 or Resident Evil 7. So, the panel, what
Hi.
would you like to see as a sequel?
Mine
I
never
think
changes.
I think I speak for everybody, or at least the majority of people, when I'm like Splinter Cell.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it's mine. That's always mine.
Well, you're
Every
not
show.
Speaking for, you're not speaking
Yeah.
for me.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Bear.
Sorry.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
I want Splinter.
Injustice 2 is the one that I'm
that'd
actually
be a
been
good one too,
waiting
bro.
for a really long time. I want to see like a 60 fighter roster on that thing the next time.
But-
it comes.
but if
They're
they make-
making a new fight, or I think Ed Boon was talking about
That's
that.
always
Well,
mine.
but if
Every
they-
show.
If they make a new Injustice, then they can't sell you $7 characters for Mortal Kombat. Come on.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
a
but I
good
think they're
point.
done supporting it now.
Oh, I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's next. So Not this year, next year, brother.
I've heard so many like little like hushed like things about it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy that full game with season pass when it comes out. I love DC so much.
True. What about you, Fox?
Wow, I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, Splinter Cell, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
We're due for a Splinter Cell.
But I don't. Yeah, but I don't know.
It's okay. What about you,
I'm
AsthMattic?
sure you could think of one.
Red Dead 2.
There you
I
go.
would definitely like to see that. I would love to, and if they could couple that, like you mentioned before, with like the other back pat, that would be super sweet. I would love to see that kind of stuff, and Splinter Cell would be fantastic. As we talk about Splinter Cell, though, I'm trying to remember how the last game ended. And I mean, I know
I
obviously
haven't played Blacklist.
I know for spoiler reasons we can't talk about it right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
afterwards, let's talk about that. Because I want to remember that.
Okay.
For me, I would like a Dead Rising 4 with a legit next, this gen, because 3, a lot of people don't know this, but was made for 360, and then they basically just brought it to release on Xbox One. But there's also rumors of a Mortal Kombat vs. Street Fighter. That would be badass. And I would have to really look at games just to even know. But those two right now come to mind.
Awesome.
But Ed Boon is working on something. Ed Boon is working on something. So it's either one of the two fighters, because all he makes is fighters. So
Sweet.
Justice.
What else we got,
Alright.
SheWolf?
Another question, as much as I don't want to ask it, it's still in there, so I'm going to ask it. Sorry, Black Tiger, but do you think Microsoft will have HoloLens at E3 this year with more games, release date, and affordable price, and yeah.
Nope, it's not going to be at
Nope.
E3.
no, that's
I bet
got
it
years.
will.
That's another year or two before.
Well,
Yeah.
HoloLens was at E3 last year. They showed the Minecraft thing.
Yeah, that's why it won't be here this year. They really don't. They're not developing any real good, games from like the Xbox or anything on it. So
If they're smart, they wouldn't be either, right? Because practical application is way better than.
yeah, that's where they're going with it right now.
You can sell
I
that
don't
to a
think that
business
went
in a
so well
heartbeat.
either, though,
They
last
should
year.
bring it to their Windows stage, not their not their Xbox stage.
Yeah, their build
Yeah.
conference
Yeah,
and all that's
true.
where all that should go. Yeah. So no, I don't think it's gonna be there.
Yeah, Xbox is just focus on games because
Absolutely.
it's just no matter what they do again, they can't do no right. So
All right.
What's next?
Next one is from Crap Gamer.
Shout out to
Said-
Crap.
Shout out to Crap. Next one is, what games do you most want on backwards compat? Alice Madness Returns, damn it.
Oblivion.
Ooh.
Bioshock.
Yeah, Bioshock.
That's what was going
Bioshock
on,
and the Mass
Bioshock.
Effect games.
Yeah.
And because I'm nostalgic, Burnout Revenge.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Burnout.
I like
Get on
Burnout
that.
Paradise.
Modern
game.
Warfare 2.
There you go, Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, me's Bioshock.
Dead Space 2.
Connect.
Yeah, I would definitely want Bioshock. But they're making that remaster. I can wait.
Yeah.
Well, but they're supposed to be bringing that whole collection for the Bioshock,
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they?
that's
So they're not
true.
going to bring that backwards
But
compat.
didn't they already show a promo image of Infinite?
It was.
I heard
think
something
that was
about
a
it. Yeah.
fake thing, though.
Yeah.
But they did say back in December that Bioshock was going to be back compat sometime soon.
But
along
all
with
those games
Black
were
Ops.
but all those games were actually taken off. Someone actually did this whole big thing about how none of those games are actually showing on backwards compat anymore and everything. So
Yeah, we'll see.
I would like to see it though, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Crap wants to see Saints Row 3, COD Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. I really like Modern Warfare 3.
Yes.
And that Horde mode they had, it was awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was fun. That was very fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Any other questions?
there's one from Storm. I asked him if he could rewrite it because I can't seem to find it. I don't know if it's too far up in the chat. So if you have it, please re-ask it. But here's a quick funny one, because this seems to be a new thing we're doing on the show, is that whole funny little thing. Which do you prefer, General Hospital or Buffy the Vampire Slayer from Crap Gamer?
Neither.
That's why I was laughing earlier.
Yeah, we had the tattoo one last week, so I figured I would just throw out the funny one this week.
Yeah, Buffy
Is
all
that
day.
the one that Storm wanted?
Let's see. Storm says, what Xbox One games this gen would you like to get a sequel for most and why? Well, it's kind of like Ivy's. So.
Yeah, but so like, does this mean exclusive?
It just says Xbox One game this gen.
Huh.
Well, that would be Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Mine would be Rise or Sunset Overdrive. They're just both fantastic, great games. I was kind of hard on Sunset Overdrive at first, and then I really gave it a second chance and absolutely loved that game. So.
Yeah, that's how I was. My wife got me into it. She was like, "Babe, you got to try this. It's really good." I'm like, "I don't want to play that shit." And then I played it. And I was
love
hooked.
Sunset Overdrive, but they need it to be co-op.
Co-op would be amazing.
And
Yeah,
my
I
thing
would've
though
liked
is like what I found with people, because I love Sunset Overdrive, but I think what makes it make or break for a lot of people is if you like that sense of humor that the game has. Like if you don't like that like bizarre,
that's true.
weird, stupid humor, then like you just won't get into the gameplay because the humor is wrapped up in everything in that game.
Yeah.
I really like the pace. I mean, honestly, there's your question. I would love a Sunset 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. Agreed.
Rise 2.
Yeah, Rise 2 would be awesome. Those are the two that I'd pick for sure. Any other questions?
Invader said he had one, but again, I don't know if like I'm not seeing any of these unless they're like writing them right at the beginning.
Zazz is probably deleting them.
That could be it.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Like I've tried to go really far up to see. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm trying, but I don't see invaders. Oh wait,
Did you guys hear about,
he rewrote
DuckTales?
it. He says, "Do you guys and gals think we'll see a reboot OG game at E3?"
OG
No.
Xbox game? A reboot?
Yeah.
No, Rare's too busy, and Rare's the one who does all the reboots.
KOTOR maybe?
Oh.
Oh.
I wish.
Wow.
I think that's the one that everybody would want, honestly.
Yeah.
For
Most
me-
one of them Clone Wars fans.
KOTOR, Crimson Skies, Metal Arms glitch in the system for me.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I never owned a OG Xbox. I'm sorry, guys.
That's alright, bro, no worries.
Well,
Any other
I
questions,
think
or
that's
we're done?
about. There is, but I think we're kind of hitting that mark now. So
Yeah, we're pushing 2 hours, guys, so
sorry, brutal.
Alright, just a heads up for any fans. DuckTales Remastered BC, baby.
woohoo.
Yeah, earlier today.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Wasn't Crab Gamer playing that the other day?
I don't know.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
But he talked about it today.
Real quick, I want to tell
Yeah.
everybody, hey, we tried a new format on the show. I hope everybody likes it. Go ahead and go in the comments or hit us up on Twitter if you liked it. You want us to keep doing it.
And it's not designed for mine. I don't know why mine got really big there in the middle.
Yeah,
It's
I'm glad you
not
got all that
supposed to do
free
that.
advertising up there.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, that is not by design. I'm not sure what happened.
So glad it became about you.
It looks
as
like
per
you're
usual.
highlighted or
Yeah, it looks
something.
like someone's clicked on my name. That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's working out the cakes.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right, guys. So, all right, everyone. It was a great show. I love talking games. We had a great panel tonight. Shout out to everyone jamming out with us tonight. We're so lucky to have a great community that supports us all the time. I want to go ahead and let everyone go ahead and shout out whatever they got going on for this week or whatever is coming up. Let's go ahead and start with Wendy.
Yeah, appreciate being on the show again, guys. You guys can all follow me at Wendy City Gaming. I got a YouTube channel as well. The link's on my profile page, but you can search Wendy City Gaming. I'm switching shifts this coming weekend, so hopefully I can get some more videos out because these last 7 days I'm on a 3 to 11 shift and it sucks. But thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. How about you, AsthMattic? What you got going on, brother?
We got game night as always going on this week. I got to give a shout out to all my followers. Huge thanks to everyone who comes out every week to make game night super fun. It was just something that I kind of wanted to try, and it's been really awesome. I've been seeing new faces, new names
so
in chat
hopefully I
every
can
week,
get some.
as well as a lot of the same names, people coming back, which I really appreciate. So follow me on Twitter at AsthMattic117 for all the updates on that. Next couple weeks might be a little off the beaten path, but we'll definitely be playing. We'll be live here on YouTube with it.
Awesome. What about you, Fox? What you got going on?
Well, at first I just want to say thanks for having me and inviting me on here all the time. It's really fun chatting games with you guys. And I got a new logo, so thanks to SheWolf for that, and a new intro for the video that I'll probably do next week.
Looks awesome.
Yeah,
And,
I'm hating.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't worry.
And also, yeah, from now on, you guys can find me almost anywhere as Lady Foxfire. So yeah,
What?
What?
yeah, on YouTube
That's so
and Twitter.
confusing.
Why? It's confusing as it is. Everyone calls her Firefox anyway.
Well, now it's even more confusing.
Oh, see,
Oh,
I
we
thought
didn't
you were
have to
going to
bring
bring
that
that up.
I'm stating a fact. This makes it a bit easier because now it's Lady first.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Folks?
You guys can follow me on, Twitch, Twitter, and on here on YouTube. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, go ahead, SheWolf. What you got?
Twitter. Of course, Crap Gamer's gonna say something about that. But yeah, you can find me on Gamers Knows Best, of course, doing videos with GKB. Also, I don't know if we have any major videos coming up, but keep watching. We should have something. Other than that, that's about it.
What about you, Zazz?
Nah, you know.
Meh.
Just everybody find me on Xbox. It's now just Zazz with the 4 letters as opposed to the Captain's Asthma. I shortened it, part of my brand. Just come play Overwatch with me because I'm really liking this game now, and it's weird for me to actually like stuff. So, if you want to see me in a good mood, come play Overwatch.
I won't recognize you.
What about you, Bear?
As always, I'm really glad that you guys had me on, and I'm really glad everyone came and hung out today. If you guys want to keep up with my stuff, I'm on Twitter at BearClaw Gaming. Later this week, I should have some articles as well as a review, finally, for the Forza NASCAR expansion, so if that sounds like it's up your alley, I'd love for someone to jump on and give that a read. Otherwise, have a good night.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Jay, Tom, and Diego for helping us out on all the YouTubes and making us all look pretty. We're going to be on Xbox Nation. I didn't forget crap tomorrow. And on Saturday, I'll be on the Shop Podcasts. We're always working on videos and giving you guys more content. Like I said, please let us know about this new format if you guys liked it.
He's got Twitter too. I'm gonna point that out just for the hell of it.
I got Twitter, YouTubes. You know where to find me. All right, guys, we're gonna have to get out of here. Take care of your fellow gamers.